Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Nathanias and KiFirE on Prion Terraces. I think this is the first time I've cast Nathanias on my channel, but let's go ahead and introduce the players. In the bottom right of Prion Terraces, we have the red Terran player. It is Nathanias. He's part of Root Gaming, but more generally known as being a caster of StarCraft 2. Say stream link again, please. People did not see. That was one guy in the lobby, says KiFirE. Apparently this was played on stream? I don't know. In the top left of Prion Terraces, we have the blue Protoss player. It is KiFirE. They both have trophies here, if you can see, right next to the command center and the Nexus. Trophies indicating they have won tournaments recently in StarCraft 2, and since this is a GM level tournament inside Legacy of the Void, that's actually not a spoiler, because both these guys have trophies, which means they both had some success here, so we don't know who won this game, or if that's retroactive or not. I actually don't know. If you watch a replay from someone, does it pull in their current information? Like if you watch a replay from somebody last week and they won a tournament today, does it show this trophy here, or only what they had last week? Oh, that's a good question. I should look into that. Anyway, it's PVT here on Prion Terraces. We do like to have the PVTs here on the channel. It is probably the least common matchup on my channel. There's a lot of TVZ, a lot of ZVT as well, just because there's a lot of Zerg out there. But PVT seems to be a little bit less common, which is a problem, but I'm doing my best to get the best out there for you. And here comes the SCV Scout. It does see the Nexus coming here for KiFirE at the gold base. The gateway expand into a cybernetics core with a single Vespene Geyser. Probably working his way up to a second geyser here. I'd be surprised. There it is. There's that second geyser coming up just at around 20 supply or so. Meanwhile, our Terran player is going for the 1-1-1 build. Barracks into factory with double gas here. Likely going to be a Banshee type opening just based on the fact that he has 3 workers on each of these Vespene geysers. Really getting that gas income through the roof right now, up to 200 compared to 100 for the Protoss opponent who just now got his second assimilator. Anyway, it doesn't look like... I guess a Marine's coming up. Maybe try to deny this Nexus. There's just not enough DPS to do that, though. Nah, the Marine's heading back on home. Not really anything for it to do. And I don't see a command center coming up for Nathanias. So this could just be a one-base play intended to punish this early, wide-open positioned Nexus here at the gold base. If you put your Nexus here at the more safe natural, you can throw up a couple pylons, photon overcharge, and this ramp is a lot easier to defend than this wide open space here. This open space here coming down this ramp as well. Just very, very difficult to hold, which is exactly why it's a gold base, and there's risk involved there. And yep, there goes the starport exactly as anticipated here for a Nathanias. A low ground bunker coming up, a couple Marines, which really aren't used for aggression in the early game. It looks like you might be worried about Oracles. And that is something KiFirE has been known to do, card boosting out an Adept. I guess Adepts as well could be a problem, and a robotics facility coming up. Tank on the way. That's a pretty darn early tank, but once again, if you skip that command center, you can get it out pretty early indeed. So, whoa, looks like... Oh, a Liberator coming out. Okay, what did I think a tech lab... Was building a tech lab on that starport, decided to change his mind, instead go for just a single Liberator at a time, instead of double pumping if that was a reactor or whatnot. Trying to scout with the sonic transfer ability. The Shade comes on up, sees, I don't know, sees the bunker. I mean, sees a wall here, sees a couple Marines. Not really too much information, does not see the starport, does not see the factory. But again, sees there's not a base here as well. So that's a pretty good scout there by KiFirE, recognizing that, all right, this is a one-base play. I need to be ready for something that's going to come at me. So at this point, he's just getting Warp Get research, getting more gateways. And there comes the Warp Prism. So I'm not sure the Warp Prism's that great for defense. It's more of an offensive harassment type unit. I kind of worry about KiFirE in this situation. If Nathanias pushes out with these Marines, with the Liberator, with a tank, he might be able to put the hurt on KiFirE. A photon overcharge is good, but tanks do outrange it if they're positioned properly. So we'll have to see exactly how KiFirE plans on dealing with this. Twilight Council's on the way, making more Adepts. And there is actually a robotics bay, so perhaps disruptors, but they're not going to get here in time to deal with this early push by Nathanias. Oh, we'll have to see indeed if Nathanias can make this work, if he can actually kill this Nexus, which I think he needs to do. He does not have a base back home. He's not building a base back home. He's continuing to make tanks and Marines and medevacs. And there goes the Warp Prism heading on out as though this is a regular 2-base versus 2-base game. I don't know, KiFirE. The tanks are coming on in. Defender mode is up as well, throwing a bunker down to the front. The photon overcharge is not in range of anything at all. It can kill anything that comes inside range, but it's not. The 2 tanks take down the pylon in just a few volleys here. Now moving on in with the SCVs and the Marines, forcing a full evacuation of all of those probes, getting the assimilator, throwing down another forward pylon here. Meanwhile, Adepts are here in the main line of Nathanias in the mineral line, forcing all the SCVs to run on out. What on earth? SCVs running on home. Is this a SCV Marine all in here from Nathanias? Okay, there are tanks and a Liberator here, so not entirely that, but throwing a tank on the low ground here, trying to snipe down this pylon, lest it be photon overcharged as well. The Adepts are just cleaning up back down here. It's essentially a base race. Throwing down a new base is KiFirE, but moving up this ramp with really no opposition at all except for a photon overcharge, an Immortal, and 3 Adepts. Liberator comes in, throws down that defender mode, and does not actually get a kill yet. Good movement, getting his units out of there by KiFirE. But just relying on the tanks to do the DPS here. Meanwhile, Adepts trying to take down buildings, that takes forever. Plus, they're not actually able to hit things that are flying. So, against Terran, not that super useful. Another bunker being thrown down here on the high ground has salvaged these ones already. The SCVs are just here to repair, I suppose. Floating up a command center here. Landing a starport here for a Raven. I don't know what the Raven will be for. Either way, KiFirE is back here. All of his probes, nobody is mining right now. The income is 0 for these players. 0 to 0. 29 to 17 total harvesters in favor of KiFirE, but again, he's under siege. He's going to lose this base. Luckily, he has this Nexus, which isn't doing much of anything right now. Oh, there's the recall. Oh, he recalls everything to this Nexus, puts his workers to work. KiFirE's army heads on out, says, you know what, you go ahead and take this space. I don't like it anyway. I'm go ahead and kill it. The Warp Prism does actually check and should be able to spot this Raven popping out, which is a great scout here. They're trying to get that tech lab before the Raven pops, but no, the Raven does come out there. Go ahead and take the tech lab, says Nathanias. KiFirE says, well, thank you. I think that I will. The army heading over for KiFirE, checking to make sure there are no gold bases being taken by the Terran player. Just floating stuff around here is Nathanias, and looks like Nathanias is planning on just taking KiFirE's old base. He's going to land his orbital command here. And I wonder if, man, if he knows about this, he can throw some tanks on this high ledge and just absolutely destroy it. Meanwhile, Stalkers come in, Immortals come in, taking out all of the supply depots, all of the add-ons for these buildings. There's a refinery here. There is an engineering bay here. Oh, a double supply depot here as well. That actually is going to supply block Nathanias, and it does. Auto turret only lasts for 8 seconds, but did do some good harassment there. Forced all the probes to run away. I don't know, where are you going, probes? I guess they have enough money to throw down a new Nexus somewhere. Are we just trading bases? It looks like KiFirE and Nathanias have chosen to trade bases at this point. And, I mean, it looks like kind of a reset to this game. Spawning in the top left, it is the red Terran player, Nathanias. And spawning in the top-ish of the map, another 8-second auto turret comes on in, doesn't do much of anything. Man, that 8 seconds is not much time at all. It is the blue Protoss player, KiFirE. Again, enough money to throw down a new Nexus. I'm not sure. Oh, right here at the gold, KiFirE. You are a funny fellow. Adept comes in trying to kill stuff, gets evaporated for its trouble. And the Twilight Council is under fire. Meanwhile, this starport is just hanging out, doing not much of anything but hiding. At this very moment. The army for KiFirE looking pretty good. I like the Immortal, I like the Zealots, the Adepts, the Stalkers, Mothership Core. Can they kill this army though? There are 3 tanks, a bunker at the top, a Raven here with PDD. Is there enough energy for PDD? Not quite yet. 100 is required. It will get there eventually. Meanwhile, yep, Liberator locks down this base. A tank goes to town on the Nexus as well. This base is completely abandoned. All the probes head down south to the new base, the gold base, right here. And Nathanias is third, essentially, the army for KiFirE. Moving on up this ramp, going to see what it can see. And there's nothing really much, except they're going to take a tank fire if they move too far over. Oh, Observer. Scooching on up and can see the tank, can see the Raven, and can see both of these tanks. The Immortal tries to come in, but takes way too much fire, losing a lot of hit points. Oh! And the Observer falls to the auto turret with the combination of the Raven spotting for it. That wasn't actually too bad, but both players are supply blocked right now. Making supply depots is Nathanias, just barely getting out of that supply block. And KiFirE still at 51 supply out of 46 available and is not making pylons. There we go, there's a pylon. He wants to get out of there too. So right now, I mean, it's 51 to 42 total supply, 25 to 18 harvesters. KiFirE seems to be up that way. He still has this Nexus technically. It's not under siege anymore by Nathanias, but if he starts to mine here, I feel like he will draw the ire of Nathanias and immediately just start to destroy those probes as well. Is he going to march up this ramp? I don't think KiFirE should do it. I really don't. He just takes random tank shots, almost losing an adept there. Very low on health are a couple of these adepts, as well as the Immortal only has 57 hit points remaining. 100 shields, though, those have regenerated, which is very nice. The starport now has a tech lab, so I guess we could see Banshees possibly coming out there for Nathanias. Nathanias is spending money on another command center, so basically now he's deciding to expand. Deciding to expand at this point to this base, which is technically KiFirE's natural, but hey, look at that. Look what's in his natural. It is a Nexus. Single Liberator, and the Immortal should come in and try to draw this fire. 2 shots on the... No, the Immortal stays alive, and the Stalkers do take down the Liberator. Can now actually move workers up to this base. It's a little bit oversaturated down here. As soon as this Nexus completes, it will be a welcome relief to these probes that are bumping into each other down here at them, technically the main, I guess, of KiFirE. So APM right now for both players is over 200. About 162 average for KiFirE, 267 for Nathanias. Tank comes on down, finally dealing with this base. Taking out a pylon. Oh, now it's a medevac. I'm like, well, how did... Oh. The tank has 9 kills. It is a corporal. Now it's going to go to work on this Nexus. We'll be able to kill it eventually. We'll take some time, but it will definitely get there. Robotics facility, replanting the robo facility, replanting the gateways. Does have a cybernetics core where? Hiding the cyber core up here. Interesting choice. Meanwhile, adepts running on in. Oh, there's nothing defending this. Oh no, the adepts. Oh yes, running away. Nathanias recognizing one of the SCVs falling, a mule falling as well. The adepts standing on out. They don't want to get in range of those tanks, even though they do have some armor. That just means they take extra damage from the tanks, which do extra damage to armored. So again, you'd think armor would be good, but against tanks, maybe not as nice. Just kind of dancing around here is KiFirE. He has Immortals, he has Stalkers, he has some Zealots, he has an, did I say Immortal? Yes, a Mothership Core with 0 kills. Just kind of dancing around just in case he needs to recall. I think that's what that is. A starport. Ah. Aha. Getting a starport and a forge, but here comes a Banshee. And the Banshee's going to kill all of these workers because there's nothing to defend. Are they going to recall home? Yep. There's the recall home. The Stalkers try to take it out, but no! Look at that, it's cloaked. Oh, it has cloak available. And there's no observer here. The observer died. Oh no, the army's just trying to provide additional targets. And there's the observer popping out of that robo facility. And can the Banshee be killed? No, the Banshee stays alive. Meanwhile, adepts are in here trying to kill as many SCVs as they can before they die. Trying to static transfer their way out of there. Trying to retreat before they get pinned back here by all of these Marines. How many adepts will survive? The answer is 3. 3 adepts will survive. 4, 7 kills. 7 kills. Looking good, adepts. And the Banshee, with 30 hit points remaining, does have 5 kills, which is nice. 34 to 27 harvesters. Again, mules are good, though. Oversaturating here, maybe not as good. But mules can make up about a 10 worker difference. So Nathanias is down in worker count, but again, Terran with those mules has additional income. Can deal with it. The Banshee trying to take out this pylon and depower the cyber core, which I don't think is something that KiFirE is worried about. But look at this, taking a 3rd base now is KiFirE. Looking strong, ladies and gentlemen. Stalker, oh, a couple more shots there. 10 hit points left on that Banshee. The Stalker does do 14 damage versus armored, but 10 damage overall. One more shot from a Stalker should be enough to kill this guy. Exactly 10 available there, but I think it's a nice sweet spot where nothing can hit it from the ground. At least Stalkers can't. Comes on in to finish her work. This is a brave, brave Banshee pilot. Oh! Oh! Oh, the Phoenix kills it, but the pylon ends up getting killed as well at exactly the same time. Disruptor coming in, the first Disruptor of the game for KiFirE. Another cloaked Banshee assaulting this base here. The Phoenix going to make quick work of it. The Phoenix combined with the Observer means the Banshee will fall. However, 21 probes have died compared to 17 SCVs, so KiFirE losing a lot of workers here. And now look at this, Nathanias has pulled ahead in worker count, but again, super, super oversaturated. Here it is natural. His main is completely mined out. He's moving his command center, orbital command out somewhere. I'm going to guess here. Yep, here to the gold base. And again, we're just kind of settling on in. If you came into the game right now, you would think, all right, so it looks like KiFirE spawned in the bottom right, and Nathanias spawned in the top left, although I don't know why there's not a Nexus here. Perhaps it was an attack. But, you know, that happens sometimes, losing your main. is something that occurs. Why didn't he retake it, though? But no, surprise, Nathanias actually spawned down here, and KiFirE spawned up here. But based on the split of the colors, you would never, ever know that is the case. Hallucinated Phoenix running on in to see what it can see, and what it can see is, oh no, Nathanias is taking this gold base. Has a lot of SCVs in here. Again, oversaturated, but that's okay. Income, about 1,400 for KiFirE, 1,500 for Nathanias. 400 gas, though, for KiFirE compared to 100 gas for Nathanias. So definitely really raking in that gas income right now, taking 2 additional assimilators to help with that. Refineries are under construction. There's a second one here and another command center coming up. Both players moving into a macro style game here. Excellent scan see is the exact composition of what KiFirE is doing. Disruptors and stalkers and immortals, as well as a couple Phoenix. I don't think there are that many Phoenix on the field. Units tab shows 2 Phoenix. Yeah, not a huge deal here. Oracle using Pulsar Beam to take out an add-on. I cannot say I've ever seen that before, because there's not enough energy to do it. It is burning, but SCV coming up to repair it and save it. Does get the save. Not even really that close either. Oracle running around. 15-minute Oracle harass, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're dealing with so far. Production tab shows Zealot legs on the way. +1 ground weapons, finally. Combat shield, finally. Both players have been a little bit busy, but man, these upgrades are late. Marines, Marauders, tanks, and a Raven medevac. Standard stuff here from the Terran player. Going to be bio all day long, every day. 2 bunkers here at the front as well, containing Marines 3 and 4, respectively. Tanks, Marauders, that combat shield just about to finish here for Nathanias, and there it is. Combat shield giving the Marines additional hit points. There is a medevac heading on over with 6 Marines and a Marauder. Does it get scouted? No, it's intended to be scouted by this. It does drop just to kill this pylon and depower these warp gates. Is it going to happen? And yes, it does. The Phoenix, however, are here to try to kill this medevac, and they will be able to get it because, yeah, the Phoenix are too fast. These guys on the ground are trying to stutter step their way to victory, but they are way outnumbered. They all get completely cleaned up. But they did kill a single pylon and depower these gateways, so that's nice. And look at this, a drop here with Zealots. The Warp Prism dropping in some Zealots, going after supply depots, trying to supply block the Terran player here. And is he going to be able to do it? Getting that double one is nice. The Zealots get a little bit distracted by that Marauder. Head on down, and I think this is going to be their death. Yeah, they realize their mistake a little bit too late. Running on out here. These 2 Zealots going after a single supply depot. They're going to make it burn if nothing else. And yes, indeed they take it down. Nathanias, however, is not supply blocked. Another attack up here. And nope, did recall home to deal with yet another Banshee. The Banshee does end up falling. But again, you forced it back. The Warp Prism, stutter stepping Marines, they do take it down. Nicely done, Marines, indeed. 137 to 108. Total supply KiFirE looking in a very, very strong position. Resources lost tab, 7,700 minerals, 675 gas loss for KiFirE. Nathanias with 4,400 minerals and 800 gas. Both players have lost around 30 workers. Again, KiFirE has pushed ahead in that worker count, 52 to 44, but mules are good, especially on gold bases, and these are both gold bases. Planetary Fortress has been established here. Essentially, it's the 4th for Nathanias. Base numbering has gotten weird so far. Another base up here for KiFirE looking great. The army, however, looking very strong. A single Colossus, 3 Disruptors, Stalkers with +1 attack and +1 armor. Revelation being thrown down on this army just to see what is the opposition for KiFirE. Going to head up this ramp. This is a standard tactic, I think, in StarCraft 2, is attacking the space up this ramp. It's really hard to defend. Coming right on in here and using Guardian Shield. Purification Nova does take out a few SCVs before they can retreat. The Planetary Fortress dies immediately to those Immortals. And building a starport that actually does get saved because the arm is heading on for Nathanias. Stimming forward, they're going to take out the space. It's essentially mined out. I'm not sure that KiFirE minds losing that. Losing a Colossus for no reason, that is a problem. Little overstimmed. A single Void Ray does have 4 kills and does be taken down by the remaining Marines on the ground. They do take down the Forge, getting rid of that +2 ground armor upgrade. Very, very overstimmed here. The Phoenix chasing these medevacs down. Can they kill them before they land and try to kill more stuff here? Stalkers come on in as well, and the Stalkers should be able to clean up these Marines and the Marauders. Again, they have very, very few hit points remaining. The medevacs abandon them in their time of need and just head on home, hopefully to not be caught by those Phoenix that are hunting for their blood. They're going to boost on in, and no! Nathanias calls the GG. Nathanias is defeated. KiFirE is victorious. And Nathanias has left the game. I think at that point he realized he needed to do more damage. He saw how many bases were available. Did he know about this one? Yeah, he saw how many bases were mining for KiFirE, recognized the worker advantage, recognized the army advantage. Just a really good composition here for exactly what Nathanias was trying to do. Trying to throw up command centers in defensive position, but in a defensive position, it doesn't always work against Protoss. So, in the end, Nathanias does tap out. KiFirE is our hero, and that's it from me. So, thanks so much for watching. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thanks for watching, and you take care of yourself.